Hey guys, this is going to be the last video for anything revolving around Extra Life or anything revolving around gaming in general for a little while. I'm not going to give a specific time frame as to when we're coming back, but for anyone who subscribed to my YouTube channel throughout these past 2 days, past this whole weekend actually, I thank you so very much for taking an interest in this. It's actually rather awesome. And I just wanted to let you know, if you're not seeing anything for me personally uploading anything gaming related, I'm sorry, but the most you're going to be seeing for a while is going to be videos I like or videos I share that I think are pretty cool. But I went off topic with that. Anyway, Extra Life is, at least for me and Paul, over. For many other players, it's still going on because it's not a full 24 hours. It's whatever schedule the gamer makes for this particular event. Now, I'm making this video just to kind of give a recap of what had happened this weekend, as well as answer some questions, because I did see some questions, comments on my Facebook page, anything related to Extra Life. People were wondering various aspects of it, including the group I was in for a particular game that we highlighted for at least half of the day yesterday. And also to provide further information as to why to pay attention and have a look at all of these videos, all of these players. Here's your Q&A. And did I miss any of this? Could I still join? Answer is yes. You could still join on Extra Life. There was no real set date as to when the cutoff is. In fact, I'm still wondering that myself. Again, this is the first year for Paul and I to even be participating in Extra Life, so some details are still kind of out of our grasp at this point. If you couldn't join as far as, being one of the actual players that signed up for Extra Life, like I said, the very first video that I made for this, you could have joined us in spirit, which means you could have just gamed just for the heck of it. Even for an hour, 2 hours, what have you. It doesn't matter. Moral support of any kind is always good. So, with that in mind, and I did see a few people that were saying that they were playing various games, like DOTA, I think, was one. Few other games, I can't remember which, but it was just cool seeing everybody talking about, oh, well, I'm doing this game, I'm doing that game. Even those that didn't really sign up for Extra Life, it was still pretty cool to see that. And what got me was how many people were saying that they either wanted to play with us, to join in, even though they hadn't signed up, or they're saying, well, it sucks, I really couldn't join in. But it's no one's fault. There is a thing called life, and even the people at Extra Life know this, which is why I say what this amounts to is a full grand total of 24 hours. Does not have to be all in one day. If anybody does it, like how Paul and I did it, that's your choice. If you can pull it off, cool. If not, it's at no fault to anybody. You can do it in 2 increments of 12 hours. You can do it in increments of 6 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours even. As long as it amounts to 24 hours, you're fine. That's all there is to it. Now, the second question, and this one was asked to me by a friend of mine. I'm not good at video games. I hardly if ever play video games. Doesn't matter. What Extra Life is catering to is games. Board games, card games, Magic the Gathering, Vampire the Masquerade, Dungeons and Dragons, any pencil and paper RPG. any of those things, any games of any sort, even a kid's board game, and you're playing with your kids, that counts. That really does count. And if you play with your kids, it's even better, because that's what this is revolving around. Funding hospitals to make sure that that kids in there, whether coming in because of an accident and they need help, or they're fighting for their life because of a disease that has unfortunately claimed them, it's still fighting for them. It's still going towards them. So I hope that answers that question too. Now the other question, this one was one that was being asked Friday, yesterday, and even today, and didn't find out about this until later on today, earlier today so far. I didn't get a chance to donate, I'm sorry, I wish I can donate next year. Well, you can do that, or if you have anything that you want to spare, you can still donate now. In fact, on the website for Extra Life, and I'm looking at our page right now, there is an option to donate. It's still up there, and this is as of October 26, 2014 at 11:18 p.m. Alaska time. So translate that into whatever time zone that you're in. It's still open. You can still donate. How long this is going to be open for, not entirely sure. And I personally think, I could be wrong on this, but I personally think it's because everybody involved with Extra Life knows that not everybody can do a full 24 hours and just bam, cut it off. That's kind of bad. But again, this is just a personal theory. I'm not entirely sure as to why, but there is that. Now, speaking of the donations, to give everybody a heads up, as of right now, Team Gasser, which Paul and I are part of as a team, grand total we have $140 raised. And this is as a group. The most is from our captain, so they kick ass so far with the donations that they've gotten throughout this whole adventure. So if any of you still want to donate, go right ahead. I'll post up the links one more time on the description on the bottom of the page for this video. But the option is still open until further notice. So now the day itself, we had fun. We had serious fun going through the various games. Now, the ones that we did, just to recap, we played Borderlands the pre-sequel, we touched Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, we also messed with Sacred 3. I didn't get video on that one, but I did get a picture or two just to give a taste for it. We also touched on Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and we also touched Injustice Gods Among Us. Now, the games we didn't touch, but we did bring with us, I'm sorry to say we just didn't get around to it. We were planning on it, but it just didn't happen. And these games were Saints Row 4, Skyrim, although that one would have been more of Paul than me. A Ghost Recon, the Killzone series. We only have up to Killzone 3. We don't have Killzone 4 just yet, but we also don't have a PlayStation 4 just yet, so we got all of next year to get funds for that. And we also have rented Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, and that one was for Paul than for me, but those were ones we didn't exactly get around to doing for October 25th. Now, next year, we are going to be planning on what games we'll be acquiring. Hopefully, we'll have a PlayStation 4 as well, and we'll be playing the next-gen games, especially with so many coming out that we are dying to get our hands on. So yeah. long story short, Extra Life, we're planning on doing this next year. Hopefully we'll get more information out to you as the event unfolds. Hopefully at least a month or two in advance. That way anybody can plan for it. We are planning on being better prepared as far as how everything's going to be filmed out. This does include having somebody here with us who can stay up the whole 24 hours and just film, or find a way to get a hold of a video capture card and just let that thing play as we're playing it too. Because granted, as fun as it was for me just to record stuff, it kind of took away from the whole bit. So yeah, either video capture card or video capture box, or if anybody, whether you're in Alaska or if you're out of town, if you're out of state, if you're wanting to volunteer to help film our little escapade for next year, come on up. I'm being serious. Come on up, help us out. We'll more than happily provide as much entertainment as possible, since you will be seeing that with seeing us game. Anybody who has beforehand knows that there's always entertainment. There's always crazy antics coming up. So with that in mind, only other thing I can think of is just provide support. Whether moral support or donations. Moral support works just as good, because that lets us know, hey, you keep going with this. You guys are doing great at this. You kick ass. You're doing something that's awesome. Because that was something that we got from a donation earlier today. The person actually left a note along with the donation saying, hey, you guys kick ass. You did something cool. And that was awesome to see that. That really brought a smile to my face. It also brought a smile to Paul's face. It was great. So, with that in mind, hopefully see you guys next year. And thank you for your support. You guys rock. You guys have a good one.